Hello everyone, and welcome back to LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Last time we finished The Last Jedi, and today, in episode 10, we do episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So, we finished Last Jedi, and it was nice. It was a nice little trip through the movie in LEGO form, and now we're going to see how The Rise of Skywalker handles the final film in the 9-film saga of the Skywalkers. This is a film. It is a film. It's certainly a film, and now we're gonna play it in Lego format. So let's start the episode. Let's start episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars. Episode 9. Somehow, Palpatine returned. The Rise of Skywalker. The dead speak. The galaxy has heard a mysterious broadcast in the Fortnite video game, a threat of revenge in the sinister voice of the late Emperor Palpatine. General Leia Organa dispatches secret agents to gather intelligence while Rey, the last hope of the Jedi, trains for battle against the diabolical First Order. Meanwhile, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren rages in search of the Phantom Emperor, determined to destroy any threat to his power. I believe that's the shortest opening crawl ever. It's a very short one. It sets things up, that's for sure. The dead do be speaking. Should start with Mustafar, right? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, okay, skips Mustafar though. Okay. We don't need to see it because you blink and you miss it in the movie. At last, my boy.
At last, my boy. I have been every voice
you have ever heard
inside your head.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be.
What could you give me?
Everything.
Jar Jar in the fucking tank. A new empire.
A new empire. Find the girl. End the Jedi. And become what your grandfather Vader could not.
There it is.
T-minus 5.
It's the best Star Wars character.
You got something for us?
From a new ally. A spy in the First Order. Transfer the message. Get it to Leia.
Win the war.
We're about to be cooked!
Poe, we got it!
Nice, okay.
Get those ties out of the way if I'm gonna get us out of here.
I'm on it.
Okay, I didn't expect this to be the opening sequence for gameplay, but I'll take it.
Move in me.
Oh god.
All right, Ben.
There's actually a funny moment with this game. Sorry, with this movie. The part in this one where Poe is about to jump to light speed, and he says, "How thick do you think that ice wall is?" Oh god. And Chewie just kind of screams, and it cuts his scream off. it cuts his scream off, and cuts to them jumping through the ice wall in hyperspeed straight away. And it's funny because they showed that scene off in a little clip before the movie came out, like a little bit of a tease for this scene. And I watched that scene and it felt so funny to me, like the editing, that I almost was like, they must have shortened the clip. They must have shortened the clip for like the tease or the video that they posted, and it's just edited weirdly, like a TV spot, you know what I mean? But it'll be done properly in the movie. But that was it. That was how it was in the movie, and it was very like, it was just so funny because it was like, how thick do you think that ice wall is? And then it was just Chewie screaming, and it just cuts to them cutting through the thing, and I thought it was so funny because it just felt so fast paced. And then I remembered J.J. Abrams loves fast paced Star Wars movies. Just go so fast you can't even think. Light speed skipping.
Yeah, but Ray's not here, is she?
I can't see the reflection of the Falcon or anything in this version. A skip and a jump. This is pretty cool.
Now where are we?
Seeing this from the perspective of the cockpit is awesome. Last jump, maybe forever. Fucking Claude. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, I thought so. I was like, what the fuck? That's great.
Be with me.
Cuts to all of the Star Wars beasts.
Be with me. They're not with me.
Ray, be patient.
I'm gonna run the training course.
Alrighty. Skip and a jump. Alright, I've got enough money now that I can buy studs times 4. There we go. Despite being in the midst of completing her Jedi training with Leia Organa, Rey is still a key member of the Resistance. Her encounters with Kylo Ren have left her changed, and their Force bond still lingers. However, Rey remains resilient and is determined to end the First Order's tyranny. Let's have a purchase of studs times 4. Nice. So studs times 6 costs 8 mil. Easy enough. So now we're on... I love the best part about the stud multipliers, because now we're on times 8, so...
Keep going, Ray.
Keep going, Ray. I do enjoy parts of this movie, he says with much hesitation, but I won't talk on it too much, because I do love all Star Wars, and I like speaking in mostly a positive nature on Star Wars. There's things about the sequel trilogy that do make me upset, and I don't want that to be the focus of running through Episode 9, like this version. So I'm keen to see how it's portrayed in Lego format. So I'd like to focus on that. But I think we've definitely had many conversations already over time about Episode 9 or the sequel trilogy as a whole, and all of the hop, skip, and jumping through, you know, not planning a trilogy and all of that kind of nonsense. It has some cool stuff. Just has some really odd stuff too. We just have to live with it. Give me that. It's funny because this Lego training, the training course from the movie is actually a perfect idea for it being in Lego. Like, it's perfect for it. I need to turn off that collectibles finder thing again. When you upgrade it, it turns itself back on. Try and turn that off real quick. Hello, droid. That treasure hanging from the ceiling of the Tantive 4 cave is teasing me. Mighty vine climbing. Collect all of the training ribbons. Oh, hang on. I think I missed one. Wait a minute. We're going back this way? Hang on. Oh, I must have missed a ribbon before the first one that I grabbed. Hold on. Oh, I did. That's funny.
I keep telling people that there is glowing treasure over there.
I can see it. That's funny. The Edge of Agent Kloss. I love that there's a mission or like a rumor in relation to a kyber brick that's literally just right in front of the character. Interesting.
You can do this.
Nice. One thing that I really like, not from like the story or actually in the movie, but one thing that I really enjoy about The Rise of Skywalker is Ian McDiarmid definitely did not phone it in as Palpatine. He had a great time. You can tell that he just like was so grateful and happy to just be Palpatine again, and that was awesome. Because he smashed it. He was just having fun.
Join me.
Join me, join me.
Ray!
That was weird.
He's back.
Kill the girl. End the Jedi. The final order. He's just so comically evil, and I think it works for him so well. He's just the definition of evil, and it's great. So I thought it was cool. That's the thing is like I feel like if there was a little more of that planning, that sweet story planning, Episode 9 and the ideas in it would have been fine if there was some nice setup beforehand. Well, you really fucked this one up, didn't you, Poe? Running the training course. The fucking
There's a
Rathstar,
hole
dude.
in the First Order and they sent us a message.
Somehow Palpatine returned. He's been planning his revenge. The largest fleet the galaxy's ever known. Hiding in the unknown regions on a world called Exegol.
Luke searched for it. He said to get there you need one of these. The Sith Wayfinder. I'm gonna start where his trail went cold. The Forbidden Desert of Pasana.
We go together.
Chewie, you get that compressor fixed? All right. Then let's head to Pasana.
Alright. Somehow, Palpatine returned. Let's do some exposition. Dark science, cloning, secrets only the Sith knew. Oh my god. I killed Snoke. I made Snoke in a bottle. I loved that, the opening though, just for its visuals and atmosphere alone, like it was so cool. I wish we got the extended Mustafar sequence, because that was supposed to have, like, Kylo interacting with, like, some sort of, like, oracle, like, something webbish bog, I think it's called, and it was so cool, something like webbish bog. And it's like this, you know, like a giant head with like a spider on it, and it was awesome. But like, it was cut, and it's such a unique, weird Star Wars thing that I would have loved to have seen. But instead, he's on Mustafar for a quick little sequence, but then like him actually landing on Exegol and that whole sort of navigating through that facility is so cool, and I did like him running through the... like how he explained it as like, I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head, going through the voices. I thought that was awesome, and it was a great way to at least explain, you know, how Kylo in episode 7 was like, oh, show me again the power of the darkness and I'll finish what you started. Like, obviously that was Palpatine, and I guess we could probably, you know, assume that the first thing Anakin did when he became a Force Ghost was went on holiday and never contacted anyone ever again. Because he never shows up.
What is this?
Festival of the Ancestors.
Festival of the Ancestors.
I've never seen anything like this.
I've never seen so few Wayfinders.
Alright.
So, what now?
We talk to people. Maybe find out what drew Luke here.
That weird hermit keeps ruining my vibe. Fumbling around with his mask on, muttering, Ochi this and Ochi that. Wish he would just gochi away.
It's Lando, baby.
It's nice to look up at the sky and see kites flying around instead of First Order ships coming to get me and my family. This whole festival really takes my mind off their galaxy-wide occupation, you know?
Don't know if you can tell, but I'm not from around here. I suggest talking to a local. They look like the knowledgeable types.
I feel like a Mon Calamari on a desert planet is probably a terrible idea. But whatever floats your boat, bud. Just talking to everyone and anyone at the
This is
moment.
one of the weirdest collections of folks I've ever seen. And I witnessed the Ewok Duel Wars.
My neck feels bare. All other outsiders have those beautiful necklaces on. Where do I get one of those?
Well, that was useless.
Let's try asking a local.
Probably what you should have done in the beginning. What's your name? Ray. Just Ray. I'm just Ray. They fly now is the name of the level. It's like they know, guys.
Her name is Nambi.
They fly now. They fly now. They fly now.
What? It's the mask.
For God's sake.
I'm going to find you, and I'm going to turn you to the dark side.
We'll see.
My knights and I are going hunting for the scavenger.
Oh, the Knights of Ren. Oh, the Knights of Ren.
Go. Back to the Falcon. Now.
Leia sent me a transmission.
General Calrissian, we're looking for Exegol.
Luke and I were tailing an old relic hunter, Ochi Bestum. He was carrying a clue that could lead to a Wayfinder. Only 2 were made. We followed his ship halfway across the galaxy. It was abandoned, out past Lurch Canyon. I've got a bad feeling about this.
We've spotted the fugitive.
There! Those speeders!
That's right. They're definitely not going to mention that Poe was running spice in a Lego game, are they? Definitely not. I always thought it was really bizarre that, like, I thought it was awesome, the concept of Luke and Lando doing missions together. I think that's, like, was awesome. Like, I was like, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. Luke and Lando going on adventures together. I quite like that. But then I thought it was so funny that they were looking for Ochi's ship. The trail went cold. And then Lando went, you know what? I like this planet. I'm going to just live here now. And then he just stayed here forever. He's like, you go on ahead, Luke. I think I'm gonna carve out a living on this desert planet. Who knows? Maybe in 30 years' time, someone might need my help on this world. So I'll just wait. I know that's not exactly what happened, but it's just funny to be like, yep, we went to this planet and then I just stayed here. Oh, that's so sick. I like how they put that moment in the level. That's cool.
Calm down, 3PO. I'll get us out of this.
That doesn't fill me with as much confidence as you think, sir.
C-3PO's role in the movie, not necessarily his role, but his like inclusion, where he was in the movie for like quite a lot of it and had like a pretty major role. You know, he was very active in the movie. It made me very happy because, you know, he's obviously a legacy character, so it was very nice. Unfortunately, R2 gets left behind, as usual, in the sequel trilogy. Because he's an elderly droid now, apparently. BB-8's the new in thing.
OG ship! I've seen that ship before.
Thinking field! Try to grab something!
Will this agony ever end?
Ray, I forgot to tell you. Forgot to tell you.
Where are the others?
Let's find them.
They fly now.
They have to be in these tunnels somewhere.
We'll find them. I'm sure of it.
Soaring to the rank of General in the Resistance, Poe Dameron continues to doggedly take on the First Order. Having learned an important lesson in leadership at the Battle of Crate, Poe now uses his wisdom and skills to command what little forces the Resistance has left. Something that I actually read, well, that's a white lie. I listened to the audiobook Rise of the Resistance, which was set in between episode 8 and 9, and it was supposedly supposed to be doing like setup work in between the movies, like to explain the state of the Resistance and all that stuff, and Poe and his squadron go on like a recruitment mission, and it involves like Wedge Antilles and bringing him back into the Resistance and trying to get his help, among other things. And it was actually a really neat little story, and I was excited to see them putting in like work to like explain like the Resistance and where the Allies were and why they didn't get their phone call answered at the end of episode 8, you know. And then episode 9 was like, what book? That didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. And Wedge Antilles has his slight small 0.5 blink and you miss it cameo in episode 9 where he's in the gunner seat of the Millennium Falcon. Nice flying, Lando. Which was the weirdest thing to me because Dennis Lawson famously declined coming back for, I believe, episode 7 at the time when they were setting it up because he wanted, like, I think it was either that he wanted a bigger role or he wanted a, or he just didn't want to come back. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. No! Can't remember exactly what it was, but it was, just like he didn't necessarily want to come back. Oh, I really wanted to see if I could get that to work by being lazy. The answer is no. But then he agrees to come into the Rise of Skywalker for a scene like that where it doesn't really do anything. I just found that really, really interesting. It must have been like, please, we'll give you a lot of money. Nostalgia. Nostalgia. Remember when you were in Star Wars, Dennis Lawson? Remember when you were Wedge Antilles? And then he went, okay, fine. Yeah. This thingy.
I do not want to know what made these tunnels.
Judging by the circumference of the tunnel walls, there are...
I said I do not want to know. Not. Bones. I don't like bones.
Bones. Never a good sign.
And then
we might still be...
we got our first introduction to a Force ability that is the first introduction in a movie to a Force ability that has been a long-standing video game ability because it makes sense for it to be one in a video game. We got Force Heal. We got Force Heal. I am of the opinion that Force Heal just... it logically makes sense for it to be an ability. But I just think it doesn't belong in the movies because it has never been in the movies before. And that might seem like a dumb reason, but it's like it just opens up too many instances of why didn't they do this then? Why didn't they heal this character then? Why didn't they heal this character then? And it's like, oh, they didn't know the ability. Or they didn't know this. It's like you'd think Jedi healing, you'd think the ability to heal a wound would be one of the first things that you would learn. If Rey can learn it by reading some old dusty books, you'd think Yoda would know it, you'd think Obi-Wan would know it, or Qui-Gon, you know, so on and so forth. So on and so forth. It's a broken record at this point, but Force Heal in the movies is a controversial topic, I think, because it starts raising too many questions, and people have made too many jokes about it. You know, like when Qui-Gon gets killed, it's like, or Padme happens, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's not like these Force ability things are not exclusive to Episode 9 or the sequel trilogy either. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, does this as well, where they go, alright guys, we're gonna do Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan doing Force Speed, which is also a video game ability. We'll do Force Speed for the first time in a movie to avoid the destroyer droids, and then we'll never use that ability ever again. Even though Obi-Wan could have used it to catch up to Qui-Gon and Darth Maul at the end of the very same movie they used it in. It's a weird one. When you introduce certain Force abilities for a specific scene to take place, it's just like, goddamn. Now you have to either keep using it or make it an established thing, or it raises too many questions. Force Speed never happens again. No more Force Speed. Let's continue the story, because like I said, I'm trying not to get carried off on my Star Wars tangents.
Horrible things.
Speaking of...
happened with this.
There's writing on it.
Oh,
speaking of...
exactly where the Wayfinder is.
Perfect MacGuffins.
I am mechanically incapable of speaking translations from Sith. Serpent! Serpent!
One of my favorite MacGuffins ever. The ancient Sith dagger.
I just transferred a bit of life. Force energy from me to him.
We gotta keep moving to find someone who can translate that dagger, like a helpful droid.
I suggest we return to the Millennium Falcon at once.
They'll be waiting for us at the Falcon. I got a better idea.
We cannot possibly fly out in that old wreck.
We don't really have an option, 3PO.
The ancient Sith dagger. Horrible things have been done with this, Rey says as she holds the Youngling Slayer 3000 in her other hand. And then that dagger just perfectly lining up with that Death Star wreckage. Oh boy, that's my favorite part of the movie. C-3PO, no. That's what I said when I watched this movie. Alright, that's it. I'm sorry. I was going to talk about the Knights of Ren as well. Because the Knights of Ren is a whole thing. Remember the Knights of Ren?
Huh?
They were going to get their... They were going to get such a cool little movie of their own, guys, right? Right? Everyone loves the Knights of Ren, right? Okay. That's how, yeah. That's how that works. Ooh, is she gonna force lightning it? Ooh, yeah. And yeah. Wow, they actually went for it.
Hello. Hello. It's all right. You're with us now.
No, thank you.
Chewie had the dagger. That was the only clue to the Wayfinder thing, and it's gone.
So true. The inscription lives only in my memory now.
In your memory?
Yes, Master.
I know a black market droidsmith.
A black market droidsmith?
He's on Kijimi.
So much hype surrounding the Knights of Ren. So much hype. Like, wow, I can't wait to see what the Knights of Ren do. And then they, yeah. Just a J.J. Abrams concept through and through. Ryan Johnson said, Knights of Ren, never heard of them.
Alright, I know what we should do.
C-3PO with the beard.
Follow me. I know my way around. Kinda. It's been a while.
Also, this planet looked awesome.
Taking people out of their homes. Let's hope they haven't got to our droidsmith.
Yeah, this planet was awesome. I loved the scene of them sneaking around and seeing everyone like knocking the doors and on doors and stuff. A lot of like cool background details on Kijimi that I really liked. So this was sweet. But yeah, interesting. The Knights of Ren, it would have been really cool to get something of them in the movie that wasn't just them being in a flashback in episode 7 and them being in, you know, just with their dirty shoes walking on the ship and then got their trashy ship, which looks so cool. And that's kind of it. And then obviously the end of the movie where Ben Solo just goes, okay, I'm just going to kill you all now.
Get to cover, but stay close. There are troopers nearby.
Why did it automatically put me in cover over the other side?
Open up.
Oh, there's the Knights of Ren. Well, at least they didn't do what the New Hope stormtroopers did. Door is locked. Move on to the next one.
Those walkers are in trouble. Stay out of their searchlights or they'll bring the whole of the First Order down on us.
Nice.
Power to the gate is off.
Looks like the power core has fallen out.
Oh, there it is.
Search every corner.
Oh. Okay.
Let's go. I don't want to stay still for too long. Sneak up behind those troopers and take one of them out. I'll get the other one. Get to cover.
Me just gets both of them because for some reason
Just hang tight.
Poe's just
see those
chilling.
lookouts? You shoot one and I'll get the other. But stay back or they'll see you.
Are you shooting the other? Alright, I'll get it.
This is actually going pretty well so far.
Yep.
It's gonna get a lot
Except
harder.
for the fact that Poe's not doing anything, but that's fine. I'll shoot the other. It's like, okay. Is this actually the, I think that one stud took me through all 3 levels, that purple stud. That's amazing. It's like, I thought we were doing that COD 4 mission, Poe, where we do things together, but apparently not.
Let's check the generators.
I need a... Okay, I need to put
Maybe
some...
the Force can help me with this generator.
Nope. Guess we're putting them over here. Yes. Are we going up onto the roof? Is that? Ah, hang on. This is just so I can get to the mini kit, I think. I can break this apart. Ah, this our thing. No, hey, that's my power.
Sorry.
Sorry. Galaxy, pal. Headed to the rooftops to scope out the route ahead.
Trouble with the locals. Kijimi crooks.
The Knights of Ren showed us her picture.
You remember when Rey murdered Kijimi locals?
First Order coming. Hide now.
I remember. I remember when Kijimi, the Kijimi massacre of 2019, when Rey pulled her lightsaber out.
I have never met these humans before.
Move along, Goldenrod. Nothing that concerns a droid here.
Well, I never.
Also, I love the concept of the First Order, like, snowtroopers with capes. I actually thought that was pretty neat. That should have just been their standard thing. Just put them in capes. Just because they look cool. We need another power core.
We're safe now. Head up the steps.
Heard you were spotted at Monk's Gate. Thought, he's not stupid enough to come back here.
Guys, this is Zori, this is Rey and Fenn.
We could really use your help.
Not that you care, but I like you.
I am C-3PO, human cyborg related.
We're trying to find Babu Frick.
Walkers, stay close by.
Okay. Zori Bliss. Suffering from Boba Fett syndrome.
Now let's get moving.
Great. Wait, Rey, can you do your rock lifting thingy on the gate?
You mean the Force?
Yeah, the Force. Well, can you? We'll head across the rooftops, try and draw some of the troopers away.
The hideout is just across the courtyard. We'll meet you there.
You're looking for the girl in the picture, yes? Well, there's no sign of her yet.
That fucking laser scythe, though? So cool. Not a scythe, but, you know, like a halberd. I find it so bizarre how they've chosen to do some of the levels in this game.
I really like our chances of getting there undetected.
As long as we get there. Now come on.
Like, I find it really, really bizarre how they choose to do the games sometimes. Is like in episode 3 they did this where we really sped through some of the juiciest parts of the movie, but then we did a really extended sequence on Kashyyyk, and then on this one we've sped through some stuff because the movie's fast paced anyway, but we're spending a lot of time on Kijimi doing like a stealth mission to like walk through everywhere. It's the pacing of some of these levels is really weird, and like you can go through some levels in like what feels like an instant, and you're like, oh, it's over already, damn. Like that could have been so fun if it was like more extended. But then you have like these missions that are like all drawn out, that feels like it takes away from those bigger moments, if that makes sense. Like, this is one of the, again, I love the environment of Kijimi in the movie, but it's one of the, like, the boring parts is stealthing outside of Kijimi. And they decided to make that into the level instead of, you know, instead of anything else that happens in this movie. This is quite interesting. Oh. Didn't want to get in there. Oh god, oh god, oh god. That was very forgiving. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck?
This is the place.
Come on.
Babu Frick is one of the best Star Wars characters though. He's so good. We love Babu.
Can you make him translate it?
What? Remember, go back. Blank, blank.
We love Babu.
Taking one last look, sir. At my friend.
Oh, boy.
Ren's destroyer. Chewie. He's alive. He must have been on a different transport.
Azure is ready.
The Emperor's Wayfinder is in the Imperial Vault, on a moon in the Endor system, from the southern shore. Only this may tell.
Might I introduce myself? I am C-3PO, human cyborg relation.
Gotta go now.
C-3PO with his red eyes quoting Sith language was actually
any vessel.
Awesome.
Go help your friend.
Landing privileges. Any vessel takes it without saying thank you. Poe Dameron ain't got manners in this game. Nice. Be really quiet. Okay.
So the plan is we just fly up and land in the hangar like it's no big deal.
Yeah, if this medallion works.
Sweet. Okay, let's do Steadfast. Perfect infiltration.
Hey, who gave you permission to land in here?
Magic disc.
They used us.
Okay. Coming for General Hux to go, I'm the spy.
Which way?
I have no idea. Follow me.
It's a girl! Get her!
Stop them!
What if I just ran past you? You're too slow, boy. Not the sleeping guard. Oh, right, Rey. Makes sense. Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm okay. God.
Did she do that to us?
Wookiee rescue.
The dagger's on this ship. We need it. I'll meet you back at the hangar.
Mm-hmm.
Rey, wherever you are hard to find.
You're hard to get rid of.
Your parents were no one. They chose to be. To keep you safe.
Ray, be brave.
You'll be safe here. I promise.
Come back!
They sold you to protect you.
No!
It was Palpatine who had your parents taken. He was looking for you.
She isn't on Jakku. She's gone.
The mop bucket kill.
So that's where you are.
Come on, Chewie's this way.
They're trying to release the Wookiee. Stop him!
Wait, what?
Going the right way.
Ah, okay, so you guys know that he's alive? Okay. Yeah. Just kick Finn in the face.
All troopers, guard interrogation 6, now!
They're heading to interrogation 6.
Of course we came for you, Chewie.
Drop your weapons now. Put your weapons down.
Hey, fellas.
Terminate them.
I'm the spy.
What?
I need Kylo Ren to lose.
Where are the others?
That was the dumbest. I don't care if you win. I just want Kylo Ren to lose. Imagine, like, being that much of a petty boy.
Why did the Emperor come for me?
You don't just have power. You have his power. You're his granddaughter. You are a Palpatine.
Huh?
What Palpatine doesn't know is we're a dyad in the Force, Rey. Two that are one. You know what you need to do.
I do.
Oh, man.
They forced me to take them to their ship.
Let's see.
That's good. I'm like, whenever we get to points where a character usually gets killed, I always like to know how they do it in Lego version. The mop and bucket on Rey's parents is funny.
I don't know why they're not.
The plunger trick is very easy.
All that matters is a Wayfinder. Finding Exegol.
Anyone else hoping this leads us to the forest moon? No? Just me. Okay.
Finn.
The forest moon, then.
Sorry, guess you won't get that Ewok party after all.
Finn saying what we're all thinking. They're like, oh, the Death Star wreckage. You mean the Death Star 2 wreckage that was orbiting Endor, right? The forest moon of Endor. No? It was something, is the moon called Kef Bir instead? Okay. Alright then. I guess we'll go to a different moon. So that's it. That's Ahch-To. Where's Endor? Where's Endor from here? Endor's over there. Whatever floats your boat. I'm positively convinced that they decided not to do the Forest Moon of Endor because it was the third movie in their trilogy, and we'd had the criticism that Force Awakens was A New Hope 2, and then there were elements of The Last Jedi were bits of Episode 5, but actually bits of also Episode 6. But then, like, J.J. Abrams doing this one, he's like, damn it, how do we not make this Episode 6 too? I know. We'll go to the Endor system, but a different moon, and it'll still be the Death Star 2 wreckage, and we'll bring the Emperor back for the final confrontation with the Jedi versus Palpatine, but it's still not Episode 6-2. Definitely not. Oh, but we'll also put Ewoks in at the end anyway. It's a flawless plan! Delta 36 transient 936 bearing 32. the not forest moon of Endor. Another happy landing.
Only this blade tells. The Wayfinder's there.
Rough landing. I'm Jana.
We have to get to that wreck.
Not now. Too dangerous.
Let's get that ship fixed.
We can't wait that long. It's the Death Star. It was a bad place. From an old war. Yeah, and I'm not used to them. Living in the desert and all.
That wreckage in the ocean may seem like an eyesore, but it's a nice reminder that empires fall when enough people stand up to them. And that just because something doesn't look operational, it doesn't mean it can't fire its big laser thingy at you. A life lesson for us all.
I like the duality of that quote. The first one's like, good, yeah, it's true and it's good. And then the first one was like, and also, big laser thingy.
I never saw it, but back in the First Order, we heard that Kylo Ren would pick up droids and lift them places. It must be a Force thing. I tried picking up an astromech and nearly threw out my back.
Must be a Force thing, as he's really just busting it down. Lego style. But is he goated with the bricks? Let's have a look.
I'm taking that skimmer and getting the Wayfinder, with or without them.
Death Star 2 ruins.
Have a smooth trip. Hope you don't get raided on the way.
Oh, this is an actual... Yeah, again, like I say, is this a loading screen or a level? I think it's a loading thing. I mean, I'm not really controlling it. I can control the camera. Almost thought they were going to make like a level out of this. It's like a non-level because we're just kind of going. Yep. Okay. That was interesting. They were just showing off their water physics.
Maybe that door will lead us to the Wayfinder. The dagger pointed to the top of the wreckage, so we'll need to find a way to get higher.
BB-8 on the job. This place is a real fixer-upper, but once it's had a decent damp-proof course, I've got everything in line with local building regs. I reckon I could flip it for a decent profit. I'm going for a minimalist design with lots of open sight lines. It may take me a century or two to finish it, but think of the market value in a place like this. Just moments where your co-op character does not follow you. Like, where's Rey at? Nowhere to be seen, and if I teleport or I change characters to her, she'll be somewhere completely different, I guess.
Hey, the big we got him party is still happening as planned. Word is this place is fully operational, so the rebels don't stand a chance. Guess I'll see you at the party, man. Peace!
That's so funny. Like an old holo message left over. Like, we got him.
I'll climb up and find a different way to get you up, okay?
Okay, so we're navigating Death Star. Navigating the Death Star ruins. Ooh, I wonder if there's gonna be like a little brief fight, maybe, between like Rey and Darkside Rey in that room. That's a thing. Could be interesting. I wonder. What the fuck? Okay. Just instead of the B grapple thing popped up, but we decided that we would ground pound instead. It pops up with B to grapple, but maybe it doesn't work because it's on the same level. That time was my bad, but like, stand here. Maybe I can just aim at it from here. There you go, just aim at it from there instead of going onto the other one.
See? I told you building the shield generator on the forest moon was a good idea. Next time you want to disagree with me, you better just stay in your lane, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy. Punk ass Jeremy. Okay.
I want all the remaining bricks found. And don't enjoy it while you do it.
The fun will be in the Emperor Sanctioned raffle.
Hey, I installed that backup voice print reader in the security room access bin. Works for all personnel.
This place is built to last forever, right? There we go. The insecurity room. Insecurity room. I think I still need to find a... It won't let me personally get up there because I think I need to be Rey to get up there. I'm just trying to see if I can... It won't let me jump once I'm on top of this thing. Yeah. And then where are we as Rey? Oh, all the way at the bottom. Remember when your character used to just follow you and it would just come with you? I don't know what's up with that. That happens a lot in... has happened quite a few times in this game so far. It's like you go to change to your co-op partner and they are just nowhere to be seen. And then I just have to like do it again. I think yeah, Rey has to use the rope. Wonderful. Thanks, BB-8. See you later, I guess. Wait, what?
Up there. That's where the Wayfinder is.
I love that we're not even in a level right now. Like, we just have to remember that. We're still in, like, we're in the Death Star 2 hub world. We're not even in the level. We're doing all of this movement before the actual level itself. Oh, God.
This is it. The Wayfinder.
The strength to do it. The strength to do it. Do it. Whoa, guys, the Emperor's throne room. Okay, how are they gonna do it?
Don't be afraid of who you are.
No sharp teeth? No sharp teeth?
Give it to me.
The only way you're getting to Exegol is with me.
Nice, okay.
Come with me to Exegol. We will destroy Palpatine.
No dark side Rey fight, but because we're doing Kylo Ren fight instead, obviously, which makes much more sense.
I bet you're loving this, standing where your hero once stood. You're nothing like Vader.
That's a cool line. That one there. standing where your hero once stood.
Lightning came out of your fingers, Rey. Lightning! Did you not feel it?
I won't listen to you. I'm sick of hearing you whine.
We both know there's darkness in it. Just use it.
This fight was cool as well.
For destroying that Wayfinder. Are you alright back there? We have to get after him.
They were trying to, you know, emulate that, you know, final fight. Similar to like Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar, except instead of lava, it's water. But it was very cool. I like seeing it.
That crate should help. It was a little too good to be true.
Pull this thing, BB-8.
Good spot. Think you can fit up there? Maybe you'll find something to help us across.
Keep getting stuck by that subtle brick.
You found anything that
Oh my god, what is that?
How many of those things are left down here? Whatever you're doing is working!
And then Nice.
I best watch my step. We did it! Well done, BB-8. Let's go find Kylo.
Okay. Can't go down any further than that. Okay. I gotta make a BB-8 thing. An astromech port. It's like, where's the final piece?
Kylo is close. I can sense him.
Closer than you think.
Fancy moves.
The grandchildren of Vader and Palpatine fighting in the Death Star is pretty cool, right?
Nerding out and concentrate.
Stop nerding out and concentrate. That is actually like, it is a thing that's like quite cool in theory, is like the granddaughter of Vader and Palpatine fighting. Actually like sounds really cool on paper.
I'm too busy trying to save the galaxy.
Fighting in the Death Star. Our grandparents would be so proud.
No, Palpatine is nothing to me.
Oops. Take my hand, and all this fighting can end.
Join me, and together we will rule the galaxy as husband and wife. Interesting. It just makes me wish that there was more like hinting at Rey Palpatine, or you know, that connection like much earlier on, sort of thing. Instead of Rey Skywalker question mark, and obviously people were actually theorizing Rey Palpatine because apparently the Emperor's motif is in Rey's theme, and people called it and celebrated their theory getting confirmed. And then there was, you know, the Rey Kenobi stuff that people were like, yeah, Kenobi might have fucked on Tatooine, which was interesting. Then we got Rey Nobody in Episode 8, and then after that, we got Rey Palpy. For reals this time.
BB-8, hold on!
Nice.
No way I can jump across there.
nice.
We both want Palpatine gone, Rey. Just take my hand.
I love that he's obsessed with, like, take my hand. Specifically my hand, please. Take my hand.
We're a dyad in the Force. That's a pretty big deal if you didn't realize.
Another way!
Oh, I got fucking...
Take sand dunes over this any day.
You don't want to fight me, Rey. You're not this angsty. Not really.
You don't know me. Nobody does!
But I do. I loved the move that she did in the movie where she like stands backwards and she just does like this backwards like flip. It was cool seeing like their moves on display.
Just like I can.
I'm not like you.
That 1 year of Rey studying the Jedi books, Jedi textbooks.
I'm stoked. Just come with me to Exegol
so I can get some dry robes on.
Stop playing games.
Oh, that was cool.
I'm tired of your games.
I'm tired of your games. I'm not playing Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga anymore, Kylo. Yeah, that move. So cool. That was sick. And then Kylo just fucking walks through it.
This is futile. I know the dark.
This is futile.
Just embrace it.
The Kylo voice actor is not good. This is futile, Rey.
You could change.
Get stabbed. Ah, they're doing... Yeah, they include the Force lightsaber move. That's kind of cool. I like that they included that. Because that was neat. Remember when Anakin and Obi-Wan used the Force on each other's hands? It was like that. Oh, brutal. This is great. Oh shit! Actually well, it doesn't show it, but like she actually does it. Far out. I thought they were gonna have a joke. I thought they were gonna do a joke.
I did want to take your hand. Ben's hand.
Wow. She went for the stab with the lightsaber. Nice.
Hey, kid.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Dad.
I know.
So what are we gonna do?
What can we do? We gotta go back to base.
I still get so sad about, you know, obviously that this is such a tragic, you know, event of Carrie Fisher's passing, and it's just so sad because you just know that like Carrie would have loved so hard to have made Episode 9 her film, and it is so sad how things turned out, and I'm glad that Harrison Ford did come in, you know, like in place of that to still have that parental connection to Ben, so it wasn't like he was just like completely without both of them at the end. There was like that a little bit of a connection, so it is like a sweet scene. Seeing it happen is very important for Kylo and his transition to Ben. I just wish we got a little more of Ben Solo, you know. I wish we got more of that redemption. Not, you know, him never speaking a word except for ow and then peacing out, which is a shame. But I do like that Harrison Ford did come back, because you can tell that was probably a bit of, you know, like that was for Carrie Fisher. It would have been so nice to see what that original sort of concept and story would have been like, with Carrie being more involved and more directly associated with Kylo and the redemption to Ben Solo, because I think like we would have been able to actually get most likely a face-to-face between Leia and Kylo, which we never got. We only got them passing each other in episode 8 in the space sequence. So I think it's wild that Leia and Kylo never got an actual, face-to-face. Just Leia's voice calling out to Ben, which is so tragic. Let's head back to the Resistance camp. What else can we do? Back to base. We've got to do the final battle. Alright, let's have a look. Guess we'll just run in for the mission, because Leia's gone. Lego character is crying. Okay. Guys, remember the Tantive 4 from episode 4 in New Hope? That's that ship. Reporting in for a funeral. All of the medals, my god.
Bye, dear princess.
Chewie.
He's still trying to get a medal.
Leia made you acting
Fucking
general.
grave robber.
What now?
I gotta tell you, I don't really know how to do this. I'm not ready.
Neither were we.
Come to me on Exegol, General Pride. Send the ship to a world they know. Let it burn.
Yes, my lord.
She will come. Her friends will follow.
That's the thing when they're like, send it to a world they know, and they destroy the planet that was established in the same movie.
A Jedi's weapon deserves more respect. If you don't face Palpatine, it will mean the end of the Jedi. There's something my sister would want you to have.
Yeah, they're like, destroy a planet that they know. Destroys the planet that got introduced in the same movie. I think, like, we don't really, in the sequel trilogy, you don't really get an emotional attachment to any planet, you know? Like, people were like, wow, Tatooine, Hoth, Endor, Naboo, Mustafar, like, all of these planets have such an emotional resonance with people. What do we have in the sequel trilogy? Like, we have Jakku. Like, they could blow up Jakku and Rey could be like, oh no, the planet that I never wanted to be on, I think. But, like, what other planets are there that are, that are memorable? Nobody's gonna be like, hey, remember Dakar? Or Takodana? Or what else we got? Hosnian Prime that we saw for like 2 seconds and then got blew up. Starkiller Base isn't really a planet, and it's also used to be Ilum, and people like Ilum, but that's because of other stuff, not because of Starkiller Base. What other planets are in the sequel trilogy? We've got Kef Bir, guys. We've got the water moon of Endor. The other desert planet, Pasana. Everybody's going to remember that for years to come. This other planet, Agen Kloss. There you go. That's a good name. Ahch-To is a beautiful location. It's a beautiful planet. I think Ahch-To is probably going to be, the one. They could have destroyed that, but I guess Palpatine probably doesn't even know where it's located, so that wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't be able to destroy that one with the ship. That one's out of bounds. But yeah, it doesn't. The planets don't carry that same level of like emotional significance, really. So like,
because you're a
destroy a planet that they know.
You knew.
Leia knew it too.
She still trained me.
You should have just destroyed Jakku.
Some things are stronger than blood.
Just to get at Rey.
Yeah, sure.
What? Oh, this is the co-op. I was wondering what the fuck that voice came from. We've got one of the caretakers as a co-op character while we follow Luke. Okay. Like his colorful stick. A Jedi's weapon deserves more respect. Now sit back and watch as I make Yoda's theme happen and we pull the X-Wing out of the swamp again. Because remember when the X-Wing got out of the water and then they'd fly to the final fight? Remember? Remember when? Parting gifts. Leia's saber.
Leia's saber.
The end of her Jedi path. But this is your fight. You'll take both sabers to Exegol.
I don't have the Wayfinder. I destroyed Ren's ship.
You have everything you need.
That's right. You don't even need the Wayfinder.
Everything I need. Can you give me a clue, please?
A clue? You're about to fight Emperor Palpatine and you're asking me for clues?
You were really vague.
You were really vague.
It's a good job you never met Master Yoda.
Oh, I can't wield both lightsabers. Imagine being able to dual wield. That'd be sick. Me vague? A good thing you never met Yoda is a good line. That's pretty sweet. You have everything you need. That's such a silly part of the movie when Rey's like, I'm gonna do what you did and just stay on this island now. It's like, why? Like, come on, Rey. Just undo your whole character arc from the last movie, I guess.
Two were made.
See? I told you that you had everything you needed.
Wait, how am I going to fly to Exegol? The ship is destroyed.
There is another.
There is another ship flyer. Alright, Luke. Work your magic. Pull the ship out of the water. I was actually wondering if they were going to show the Leia and Luke flashback scene, because the characters are actually playable in the unlockable characters screen, but no flashback sequence. Just running along an island for a long time. Alright, alright, you there, Luke? I don't even know where I'm going, but I'll beat you there. I'm assuming right here. Oh, there's a brick. Let me get that while we wait for you to reach your destination. Top tip. There's the preferred way to get to it, and then there's my way, baby. I like how we're covering more ground on this island in episode 9 than we were in episode 8, which is mostly set on this island. Is Rey still a scavenger? Can she do the... No, because she's a Jedi now. She can't do the animal nets. Oh, is this... We've stopped. We're actually going down this way.
You can take mine.
No, we're going down to the bottom. There you go.
Use the Force. Yes. Concentrate. Palpatine is strong. Mind what you have learned.
Mind what you have learned. Save you it can.
Do or do not. There is no try. That's a collector's item.
Hey guys, remember when Luke decided to hide out on this planet and he said, I'm going to use one of the wings of the X-Wing. I'm going to rip it off and use it as the door to my hut. And then J.J. Abrams said, no.
It's Rey. She's going to
The wing was on the ship the whole time.
Kijimi. How?
Kijimi, no.
From a Star Destroyer. Out of the unknowns.
Planet-killing weapons.
General.
On every single Star Destroyer.
About Exegol.
No, thank you.
As long as those Star Destroyers are on Exegol, we can hit them.
Surely they must have some kind of thermal oscillator.
What about any transport somewhere? We could hit that.
Some form of main reactor core.
What are you talking about?
They use a signal from a navigation tower.
So self-aware, we love it.
Air team's going to find the tower, ground team's going to blast it.
There aren't enough of us.
That's where Lando and Chewie come in. They'll take the Falcon to the core systems.
We've got friends out there.
I am C-3PO, human-cyborg relations.
Is R2 going to fix his memory yet? No, apparently not.
Your ground team here yet?
Yeah, looks like the lander just got back.
Well, enjoy your trip across the galaxy with a bunch of delightfully smelling Orbaks, General.
Thanks, General.
Just a couple of general bros. Let's go to Exegol. And that's it. That's the full galaxy map completed. Exegol being the last planet on the list. There you go. Exegol space. Time for space battle. No, Poe, there are more of us. Every single ship in the known galaxy arriving right at the end. As the main theme of Star Wars blares so loudly in your ears you can't even focus.
This is it.
Be with me. Actually, where's that Kyber brick at? Let's kill that one while we're here. I just found this funny as well because, like, in the final battle, Poe decides to take R2 into the fight in the X-Wing. So R2 does get, you know, a bit of time to shine in the final fight. So he's there, and then BB-8 goes with Finn, which makes the most sense because you're not going to have R2 rolling along that ship's surface, charging into battle. I just always thought it was an interesting choice to have R2 come in with Poe. Gotta have everyone show up somehow. Be with me. We should have had C-3PO flying a ship at the end.
Look at that fleet. Welcome to Exegol!
Long have I waited for my grandchild to come home.
The fucking hand that keeps falling off, dude.
I've come to end them.
My spirit will pass into you. You will be Empress. We will be one. They don't have long. And you are the one who led them here. Strike me down. Take the throne. Make the sacrifice. Do it.
Do it. Nice. Do it.
My granddaughter fighting alongside Vader's grandson. There's always a family drama in this galaxy.
Sovereign Protectors, nice. Makes like a fight out of it. Oh god. Sovereign Protectors and Knights of Ren. Okay, so it's just a redo of the fuck are they called? Praetorian Guards. I almost said Promethean Guards. I like that we've got a crowd that you can hear in the background. These are a cool design. There's so many questions about how the hell this place even works. Like, these people just been getting, like, born and raised here over generations with Palpatine over the years.
I can see that you are angry.
That's the Palpatine family angry face.
Electrifying, bothersome Jedi never gets boring!
Oh, nice. Look at his moves. This is sick. Oh, if only he didn't, you know. Okay, what? Bud, he just stood there and just let me massacre him. The coolest looking one, too.
You guys never wanted to talk. All I ever got was the silent treatment.
That was great. Imagine if he said that in a movie. Or just anything, you know? That would be great. That's sick. One thing that I really love about this final set piece on Exegol is that obviously the fact that they used the original concept art for Palpatine's throne from Ralph McQuarrie. It was just really cool to see. And that's like one of my favorite things about Ralph McQuarrie as well, is just like he has influenced and inspired Star Wars forever and will inspire Star Wars forever based on his like iconic design choices, and it's perfect. I love it so much. That they're just like, yeah, like we got this stuff by blending in like new and old stuff, and he's not the only one as well with like a really good understanding of Star Wars visual style and design. Doug Chiang is a master as well in his own right, and obviously he learned from the best. He learned from all of Ralph's drawings and stuff, but Doug Chiang's like episode 1 concept art specifically is so magic. So good.
You afraid I was gonna leave without giving you a goodbye lightsaber duel?
I manipulated you for almost your entire...
Oh, I wish I got that full line. We're about to get restored Palpatine.
The dyad in the Force.
Oh, they're changing him because he's...
restores
yeah.
True Emperor.
That's funny.
There it is.
And then that's how Ben Solo died and was killed. He was thrown off the edge, never to be seen again.
And as I fell, so falls the last Skywalker.
And then the space horses rode on the top of the ship. And then space horses. I love that we're doing the space horse segment instead of the space battle at the moment. That's great.
These Orbacks will turn into ore bangs if these explosives take too many hits.
Terrible joke. We're doing good. And those TIE Dorito ships, where they look like TIE interceptors, except the wings are just literally Dorito shaped.
We have to clear out these troopers so we can get the Orbacks to the tower.
I do actually really quite like the Sith Trooper design, because it's like a really cool mixture of the First Order Stormtroopers, but it has like a Phase 2 Clone Trooper feel to it, which I think is awesome. The Sith Trooper design is very, very cool, specifically because it reminds me of the Clone Trooper design, so it's cool though.
Janna, BB-8, we have to find a way to get the Orbax past this tie.
Done.
Everyone mount up.
Down.
I've been hit. I'm coming down on your location. Look out.
Not good.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, come on, that hurt. Thanks to Snap's excellent parking, we have to find a way past this X-Wing. You're right.
That's right, because Snap doesn't die in this version. It's actually like pretty crazy how quickly Snap dies in the final fight. You can really just like feel like how quick space battles are.
Down that power generator. We need to find it.
When it's just like, oh, I'm going down. It's like, and then bam, gone immediately. Yeah, look at that design. It's cool. I need pants. Thank you.
There should be a control panel somewhere that switches off that power.
I'll get there. BB-8. BB-8! Get out of the way.
You think we could control that turret and blast the X-Wing out the way?
And blast the X-Wing out the way, innit? I gotcha. Down. Down. Left. Up. I cannot move. There we go. What? Yeah. BB Boss. Yeah, remember when this happened in in episode 9? BB-9E came back? Oh, that's funny.
We aren't getting near that hatch until that turret is destroyed.
Yeah, I remember when BB-9E was in episode 9 instead.
Fire everything you got on those exhaust pins. We need to stop the turret. Go, go, go. Space battles are so cool. I hope this isn't our only one.
This isn't our only one.
Between us and that hatch. Wait, they're supposed to be intimidated by the red? Why aren't they intimidated?
Destroy the exhaust vent. Stop that droid!
Stop that droid! Can you get into cover instead of jumping over it?
It's the only way to stop the turret.
Got him.
We did it!
It's quite a bizarre choice for them putting a final boss in here. To go with BB-9E. What is this? Okay.
All right, BB-8, you're up.
I got it. Okay. What is it doing? Oh, I have to push it. Like, I'm just like, what is it? I'm just waiting for it to automatically go. That makes much more sense. Yep. Move out of the way.
This should do it.
nice.
Look at this.
There it is.
Look at this.
Where's all our ship references? Oh, there's so many. There's someone on a... What? Oh, the Wookiee gunship.
So long, sky trash.
Sorry, you made it.
An the airspeeder dragging the AT-AT leg. Oh, that's good. Quad jumper, Republic cruiser.
Be with me.
Oh, it's Jedi voice time.
These are your final steps, Rey. Rise and take them.
I don't like sand.
Now is not the time for this.
Rey, the Force will be with you always.
That's good.
Scavenger girl is no match for the power in me.
I am all the Sith, and I am Iron Man. I don't know if you guys have seen it on YouTube, but like the fan edit of this scene, and it's really well done as well. There's a few versions of it where they
Unlimited Sith.
where they edit in all of the Force ghosts. It's so good because it looks so natural, and it would have been amazing to see like all of the Force ghosts together, like pushing their power into Rey.
I am all the Sith.
And I...
I'm Rey Skywalker. I'm Rey Skywalker. Oh no.
Wait,
He's not here this time. No, 2 lightsabers is so much stronger than 1. Ah! He's getting shocked through all of his different forms. God damn.
We're back on. This is our last chance. We gotta hit those cannons now.
Space battle time.
Hello. I'm Double Kick.
Major design flaw in your Star Destroyers if one Y-Wing can destroy your major laser cannon, by the way. Far out. Alright, I guess there's no space battle version. No space battle level. Horse level? Yes. Stop at halfway, you're fine, you're both alive, just stop at halfway. Ah, okay, never mind, see you later. Just stop at halfway. That's probably the biggest tragedy in all of Star Wars right there. Ben Solo not surviving and Finn not being a Jedi are my 2 biggest sequel trilogy tragedies.
People are rising up all over the galaxy.
Oh, it hurts. It still hurts. It is possible to redeem a villain and have them survive, that's all.
I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations, and you are? Memory restoration complete.
Oh yes. And then this was a scene that happened in the movie too. Bury the Skywalker sabers at a place that has so much significance. Where's General Grievous at? I'm waiting for a General Grievous reference.
I'm Rey.
Rey Skywalker. I was waiting for a General Grievous reference to go and add those lightsabers to his collection, grab them out of the sand. I just find it very interesting that, like, at the end of Rise of Skywalker, Rey goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the Lars homestead, where Leia has no connection to, and Luke spent 20 years of his life, like 19 years of his life, that he didn't want to. He was always looking over to the horizon, wanting to leave. He hated it there. He had no real positive, fond memories there towards the end. He's like, I just want to get out of here. And then his uncle and aunt get brutally massacred and burnt alive to a crisp. So he has so much trauma there. And Rey somehow figures out that's where Luke came from and goes, yes, I'm going to bury the Skywalker sabers there. Hey. It was such a weird ending, because I know that they were trying to do the whole let's pay homage to the previous stuff and end the Skywalker Saga on the twin sons of Tatooine, blah blah blah, but it's such a weird way it doesn't feel natural. Such a weird way to do it. You may as well just take the sabers back to Luke's Force Ghost on Ahch-To and just say, there you go, I've got my yellow boy now, and off I go into the galaxy for that inevitable episode 10, when it eventually comes, you know what I mean? But, there you go, that's the Rise of Skywalker completed. I actually thought we might have gotten the space battle version of that one as well, with like controlling Poe's X-Wing, considering we have it with R2 in there and everything, but instead we rode some horses into battle, got a lot of characters available to purchase, and defeated Palpatine. And now we've got the proper credits roll at the end, because we've finished all 9 episodes of the Skywalker Saga. There you go. That brings it to a close. This one, funnily enough, has our highest percentage yet, 67% completed. The average of running through story mode without the intention of trying to collect as much as possible, because it's better to save it for free play when you can actually go through it with characters that are eligible, is pretty decent. So you average around sort of like the 50% completion per episode. Return of the Jedi being the lowest, and Rise of Skywalker being the highest. But we can now enter Galaxy Free Play. So doing the story mode and focusing primarily on the story mode got us about 37% complete through the game. Obviously, you can now go to each and every planet that you want to check. We've unlocked all 28 areas. You can go to each planet, free play, all of the extra side quests, and playing around with characters and seeing how characters speak to each other with dialogue and stuff like that. And then we can unlock everything else, which is the fun of these games, is the amount of additional, optional, extra content there is in the game. It is really, really well done. You can see how massive this game is, the scope and scale of a lot of the additional stuff. I do just really wish that there was a bit more of a focus on the story. Like, to play through the story and have it sit at 30% completion, having that 30-70 split between optional stuff where I do feel like the story stuff could have had more in it is kind of like a little bit of a bummer, you know? A little bit of a bummer. Here's Leia's training flashback that we can buy for 200,000. Yaddle best character. So you can buy rumors, or you can just literally complete stuff in the game and it'll unlock them for purchase, essentially. Oh, they've got the different clone troopers, which is nice. Coruscant Guard, 501st Legion, straight up Phase 2, 212th. That's cool. That's nice. So there's a lot to do, and I believe when we go... Okay, we've got Jar Jar. If I switch to a character, I believe they interact with each other. There is actual dialogue. depending on who you pick. Like, let's pick this guy.
Kangen warrior never backens down. Let's doing this.
Oh, Jar Jar didn't say anything. I really thought they would have had an interaction. Apparently not. Who would Jar Jar speak to? I would say Anakin would be a safe bet.
I am here on Jedi business.
Alright, I'm gonna swap. Instead of Jar Jar, maybe Jar Jar doesn't interact with anybody. Who would Episode 2 Anakin interact with? Let's just bring Luke Skywalker out.
Time to protect the galaxy.
Okay, there's got to be one of these that will interact with each other. Maybe we'll do Luke and Vader. That's one that makes sense. Luke and Vader. Dark side. Gotta buy Darth Maul. The no cape version. Nice. Gotta buy Darth Maul while we're here. We've already unlocked Rey as a Sith. That's kind of cool. After learning her dark heritage as Palpatine's granddaughter, Rey witnessed a vision of what she may become if she gives into her anger and embraces the dark side. The visage of Empress Palpatine frightened Rey, as the path that leads her to the Sith throne does not feel so distant from the one she is on. I wish Rey did turn to the dark side. That would have just been so cool. It would have been great. Look at this. So we got the Emperor, and it says the Emperor clone. Once a withered clone, Emperor Palpatine is reborn as the one true Emperor thanks to Rey and Ben Solo. A dyad in the Force, the power they wielded when united was able to rejuvenate the ailing Palpatine, giving him unlimited power once again. Now, they're stating in this, and I wasn't sure if this was confirmed or not because I haven't really delved too deep into Rise of Skywalker stuff. The way that Palpatine's body was made it seem like it was the same body that survived the explosion of Return of the Jedi somehow. But what kind of, I guess, makes more sense is like his spirit was released from his body and then went into one of his clone bodies that was deteriorating. Which is very interesting. Let's have Luke and Vader.
You will feel the power, the dark side.
Bruh, I swear to God, there are actual characters that do have dialogue and interact with each other, and so far I've just picked all the ones that just do not.
Greetings, Father.
Son.
There we go.
Good to see.
It's a specific Luke that needs to be chosen. There you go. What about,
I have been expecting this. Let us begin.
And then the Emperor has a lightsaber, because he doesn't have an Episode 3 version. What about...
Just been given some new hints.
Oh, not Hint Robot. Who else could interact with each other? There's got to be some other ones in here. Well, we got... Ah, yes, we got DJ. Let's have Han Solo interact
Looks
with...
like the galaxy's depending on me again. Great.
Let's have Han Solo and Kylo. Let's see that. Also, would there be... Yeah, there is. Ben Solo is a Jedi.
It's Ben now, by the way.
Okay, no Ben and Han, but I'm assuming Kylo would be a yes. Which you actually... Have we unlocked any? We've got Kylo no helmet with a scar that's automatically unlocked. We do have Kylo Ren topless.
Let's finish this.
No? Maybe, again, it might have to be the specific Kylo. I might have to do it with the Force Awakens version.
You know what I've come for.
Nope. I really thought that they would have said something to each other. Apparently not.
I'm in. So what's the plan?
Well, the point is, This has been a very poor showcase of it. Characters do interact with each other. Maybe let's try... General Grievous is a villain, right? General Grievous. Let's try General Grievous.
Such an impressive lightsaber. So unique. May I touch it?
When he wants Kylo Ren's lightsaber. That's great. And now I need to just spawn in as Obi-Wan Kenobi. But the Episode 3 version.
Well, isn't this quite the treat?
I switched the wrong character. I thought I'd be switching myself there. Hold on. Let me switch me to Grievous now.
If you ever want to sell your lightsaber, contact me via the black market.
No. Hello there, General Kenobi? No? Okay. But we do have Vader and... and Luke at least interacting. But we've got fun characters, and it's going to be great to... I'm definitely going to be playing this in free play so much more. Now I get to grind and unlock the stuff and do all of the optional side quests and all of the fun additional content. But with that one, guys, we'll bring this episode of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga to a close. Thank you so much for watching our journey through the 9 films. It was definitely worth the wait and the delays for this game. It's very impressive. Very impressive. Wish there was a little bit more in the story content, but you cannot deny the amount of effort that has gone into this game in so many ways. The dialogue is fantastic. The level design is great. While there could have been some more levels in each episode, I do really like the size and scale of this game. Like being able to, like, we've barely even scratched the surface because of how much extra stuff is in the game. That's, you know, that's crazy. Like we've got the upper levels of Coruscant, we've got the lower levels of Coruscant. There is a hub world or multiple hub worlds for each planet that all has stuff to do, and I'm excited to check it out. Getting 100% in this game is no mean feat compared to previous LEGO games, and I'm gonna do it anyway. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and I'll see you next time.